What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I have an in-depth comparison between the Roto Grip Hustle Camo and the Storm IQ Tour Solid. Now, a lot of people are saying that this camo is just like a mini version of this IQ Tour. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at them and see if that is actually true or if it's not. So if you guys like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And then if you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, you can go to coolwick.com and use my promo code MOTIVELOOT10, and that'll get you 10% off your entire order. And then down below in the description, there should be a link where you can order either a Hustle Camo or an IQ Tour Solid. That is the absolute best way to help support the channel, and I would super appreciate it if you guys went through those links. So let's get into some of the tech behind these balls. We'll start in the IQ Tour because it's the older one. It features the C3 centripetal core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.49 and a max differential of 0.029. And then wrapped around that core is the R2S solid reactive cover stock that comes out of box at a 4,000 grit finish. But in this video, both of these are finished with a 2,000 finish because that's the surface that I like them both at. And then the layout on both of these is also the same. It's 50 by 4.5 by 30. And then we get into the Hustle Camo, and it features the Hustle Core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.53 and a max differential of 0.030. So the differentials are very, very similar. And then it features the VTC solid reactive cover stock that comes out of box at a 1,500 grit polish finish. But like I said, it's finished at a 2,000 finish because that's the surface that I like on both of them. And then the layout is the same. So I'm gonna take you guys out on the lanes now so that we can get this in-depth comparison going. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have an IQ Tour Solid or if you have a Hustle Camo, which one is your favorite and why? And do you think that they are similar like everyone says they are? All right, first shot here with the IQ Tour Solid to start. Hopefully we can start here on a really, really good note. Oh! So just off this very first shot, I think that this is gonna end up being a little bit stronger than that Hustle Camo. But hey, look, IQ Tour is an all-time great ball. So the fact that we're even comparing it to the Hustle Camo is a good thing. All right, last shot here with the IQ Tour before we get into the Hustle Camo. All right, so those were the first 5 shots there with the IQ Tour Solid. And the biggest thing to take away from that is just how much control this bowling ball offers, especially with that 2,000 finish. It gets into a roll very early because of that super low RG. It's very round, very continuous, never wants to over jump on the friction. And that's what makes this ball an all-time great. That combination of R2S solid cover stock with the C3 centripetal core is just, it's an all-time great, and the ball's been around for years because of that. So now we're gonna get into the Hustle Camo, which I'm especially after throwing this IQ Tour, I'm expecting that this is gonna be maybe 1 or 2 boards further right with it, and I am expecting it to shape a little bit more than this IQ Tour, just based on what I've seen from both of these bowling balls. But the very first shot with the Hustle Camo, I'll go to the same spot that I was just at with the IQ Tour Solid. So let's get back on the lanes. All right, first shot here with the Hustle Camo from the same spot I was just at with the IQ Tour. All right, so I wasn't expecting it to strike because I knew it was a little bit weaker. So off that 2-4-8-10, I'm gonna move 3 and 1 to the right here. Should be a good shot. Yeah, so I think 3 and 1 on the fresh at least is the right move here. All right, last shot here with the camo before I get back into the IQ Tour. All right, so now I'm 5 shots in with both of these, and the one thing that I took away from that is the very first shot that I threw with the camo from the same spot as the IQ Tour, I went 2-4-8-10. The cover is just not as strong as the R2S cover on the IQ. The move for me ended up being 3-1, and once I made that move, all of a sudden, this Hustle Camo looked amazing. And it's one of those things that I always stress on this channel is the right tool for the right job from the right part of the lane. Because if I only threw the Hustle from that same spot that I was at with the IQ Tour, I would think that the ball's terrible because it split every single time. So that's the biggest thing to take away from this, is that these balls are very similar, but the strength levels are going to be off. So what I'm seeing is that the motion is very, very similar. All right, first shot here back with the IQ Tour. I'm going to go 3 left of where I was with the Tour before. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a really big difference, is that the IQ Tour will let me shape it a little bit more. Roll the 2-pin. All right, same spot here, just going to try to throw a better shot. Oh, the 8-pin.
Bruh.
All right, let's try to repeat that last shot minus that pesky 8-pin. So the light hits like to carry a little more than the flush hits here, obviously. So let's try to throw a really good one. That should be pretty good. Come on. So like I said before, one of those shots, I think that's where the big difference is going to be between these two bowling balls, is that the IQ Tour will allow me to get a little bit further left faster than the Hustle Camo, strictly because of the strength of the cover. But I do think that the one thing that the Hustle Camo has going for it is that because it is a weaker cover, it should be a little bit cleaner through the front, and it should get into that transition phase a little bit faster than the IQ Tour. But all in all, I'm really liking what I'm seeing of these two bowling balls. As this, I do see it now as like a mini version of the IQ Tour. But remember, we're also talking about a different strength level as well. So let's get back on the lanes. I'm gonna make that same 3-in-1 move to the right with the camo. All right, so this is 3-in-1 left of where I was with the IQ Tour. Still gonna be relatively straight through the fronts with this ball. Yeah, and for those reasons, the Hustle Camo is one of my favorite balls that I drilled this year. Because of shots like that. Oh, another 8-pin. Jeez, that's what I get for talking. Throw it better, Lewis. Like that. No 8-pin. Yeah, when I can keep this camo in front of me, it is one of my favorite balls. Oh, give me that. All right, last shot here with the camo before I get back into the IQ Tour. Yeah, guys, this Hustle Camo is turning into one of my favorites. I think that if I have the option to throw either the Hustle Camo or the IQ Tour Solid, kind of like what you're seeing right now on the lanes, I think I'm leaning more towards this Hustle Camo. It allows me to play, if both of them were in play, this one allows me to play in a part of the lane that I'm way more comfortable playing, where for me, that's keeping the ball a little bit more in front of me, not giving away the pocket a whole lot. So because of that is why I lean a little more towards this Hustle Camo. Now we're gonna get back into the IQ Tour for the last time, and I'm gonna get further left than I have been this entire video, just because I really wanna see if this one allows me to shape it. And then if it does, I at least wanna throw one shot from way further left with the camo, even though that's not the part of the lane that I'm ever really going to be throwing this camo, just because of how much I like it from a little bit straighter. So let's get back on the lanes. All right, first shot here with the IQ Tour. And like I said, this is gonna be the furthest left that I've been this entire video. Yeah, the cover on this IQ Tour is just so much stronger. And I'll definitely throw the camo from this same spot here when I get back to it. I'm gonna move everything like 4 or 5 right here just to see. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Yeah, I think that's the spot here with this IQ Tour. Hook a lot. Give me. Now the one big thing also is, I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying that this IQ Tour is not a good ball, or that the Hustle Camo is a better ball than the IQ Tour. This is an all-time great bowling ball. Just for my game, on the conditions that I'm on right now, I'm leaning more towards this Hustle Camo. But when the volumes are a little bit higher, I think that the IQ Tour will allow me to play the same part of the lane as the camo when the volume is lower, if that makes sense. So if there's more volume, I'll go to the IQ Tour. If there's less volume, like there is now, I'll be in the Hustle Camo. All right, Hustle Camo, same spot as the IQ Tour. Yeah, just not. So it was close, but like I said, I'm gonna have to make that 3-in-1 move to the right here. There we go. Yeah, this camo has been pretty consistent the whole video here. 3-in-1 to the right off the IQ. Hook a lot. Oh. All right, last shot of the video here. Let's end on a good note. Hook a lot. The Hustle Camo. All right, so we are done for this video comparing the Storm IQ Tour Solid, which is an all-time great ball, to one of my favorite balls I drilled this year, the Roto Grip Hustle Camo. Now, this ended up being the number 2 ball on my list, and I'm telling you guys, if I would have drilled it even just a month before, this would have been the number 1 ball, because I match up with this ball so freaking well. It is hilarious. So if you're looking for a ball that's very, very similar to the IQ Tour Solid, that's just maybe like a little step down, like a 3-in-1 step down, which is what ended up being for me, then really take a look at this Hustle Camo with the surface. With the polish, it was still a pretty good ball, but for me, I didn't love it polished, or I did like it polished, but then when I threw it with the surface, it took it to a whole nother level. So really take a look at it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, there's gonna be a link where you can order either an IQ Tour or a Hustle Camo through the links in the description. It is the absolute best way to help support the channel. You guys know I'm trying to do this full time, and I cannot do it without you guys. So thank you guys so much.